G'day guys, Tails Gaming here, and I'm going to talk about some of the features and discussion happening around Palworld today. The Steam page mentions that you can do all sorts of things with your powers, from selling them, butchering them to eat, robbing them, or even giving them hard labour. Even in your factories that you can build, you can give the factory boss orders to make your powers work harder, and they will continue to do so as long as you feed them, or they will end up dying. There's even footage of a factory boss punching a power and another power passing out from its work. So while all this may sound very dark and perhaps evil, we have to also remember what else has been told to us. And that is that it's up to us to make the decisions. But there are in fact laws and game mechanics in the world that will prohibit some of these actions. So we may in fact face some real consequences for actions if we choose to be evil while in the game. There is also the opportunity for us to poach rare Pokemon, and we can make some good coin from this, but again this is illegal, and if we get caught then we're going to face some real trouble, and not just from a moral standpoint. On the topic of Palworld being dark, the CEO has been quoted in saying, "We don't want Palworld to be beautiful and perfect. We want to inject elements of darker themes, including exploitation and violence." He's also said, in terms of the darker elements, we want to leave those decisions up to the players. Player agency will be the key in Palworld, which is why players can be good or bad. We want players to build up their own story, and the gameplay mechanics are our way of facilitating that. So again, we can see from this that the developers really want us to give us the choices in game as to what path we can choose for ourselves, which is a great thing, and let me tell you why. Because this gives us options and replayability for the game. Both I view as key components in the longevity of any game, and that can only be a good thing for us all. The CEO has stated that he wants Palworld to be an open world creature collection sandbox game, and also that Palworld is not strictly a story driven game. Not that there won't be any story elements dotted around the world, we just want players to create their own interpretation of the world through their environment and game mechanics. This again goes back to the choices that we have, but also gives us the sandbox element that a lot of us crave in a game. The developers have taken inspiration from other survival games such as Rust and Ark Survival Evolved, even going as far as stating that they believe Palworld is closest to Ark in a survival game. The good news for sandbox fans is that there will be all the usual features, including building, farming, harsh weather, and even breeding. All of this is the extra spice of powers being added to it. For instance, why do the manual labour of farming itself? We can use a power that has water abilities to water your crops, or a power that might be good at mining to do that for you as well. There will be particular powers that will be more suited to certain tasks, but that is up to us to find out in the game. Another key feature of any sandbox game is having good exploration, and Palworld goes above and beyond in this in many aspects. Not only can we ride powers, but we can also sit on their shoulder or hang from their claws as they fly. And speaking of flying, yes, there appears to be flying mounts in the game, as well as ones that will swim, and it's even said that some will drive a car, although I'm not too sure if I want a power to drive a car. Palworld even intends on having multiplayer, with the early access hopefully coming this year, so we can band together and stop the poachers. Or maybe join them. There will of course be combat within Palworld, but as we have all seen, this will involve the use of guns for ourselves as well as being able to give our power gun as well. Time will tell if it's better for our power to use a minigun or their own unique powers for combat. Hopefully their own powers. We will also be able to take our powers on the usual dungeon raids, as well as what looks like arena battles where we can safely assume that we can fight either NPCs or other players for some fun and bragging rights. Maybe even a little coin in there as well. Combat doesn't stop there for our power though. We can even use the power as a shield to take damage that might otherwise hurt us, and they will do this without question or complaint. It seems this game will give us a lot of choices to make, some of them being game mechanics and some of them moral choices. The good news is that Palworld developers do intend on releasing into consoles, as well as supporting Palworld after launch with events and new characters. It would be amazing if there was some form of crossplay coming with consoles added, but we'll have to wait until after consoles have been added to find out about that. The future is looking bright for Palworld fans, and we only hope that they can deliver on all the features that they've shown us so far. So what do you guys think? Are you excited about the game mechanics and the choices that we will have to make in the game? Let me know the feature you're most looking forward to in the game in the comments below, and subscribe to not miss out on any future content. See you next time.